From Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse number 17. The name of this chapter is Dhyan Yoga. And in this section, in the verse number 10 to 31, in these 22 verses, Krishna is describing the Dhyan Yoga, that is the yoga which is meant for. Of course, the whole chapter, at the end of the chapter, Krishna ends with, of course, the whole chapter, at the end of the chapter, Krishna ends with the conclusion of this Dhyan Yoga in the verse number 47. That yoginam api sarvesam madgatena antaratmana sadhavan bhajte jo mam same yukta-ceṣṭasya. That out of all the variety of yogis, yoginam api sarvesam, sarvesam means all varieties of yogis, he recommends who is the topmost yogi. He says there are varieties of yogis, like say karma yogi, sankhya yoga, then jnana yoga, then karma yoga, then Dhyan yoga, and then finally bhakti yoga. So ultimately Krishna concludes the whole yoga system with the conclusion verse. That is conclusion verse is that bhakti yogis are the topmost. Krishna says, if you ask my opinion, the Lord says that if you ask my opinion, then in my opinion, the topmost is bhakti.
Yes.
Although he is explaining all the varieties.
Yes.
But then at the end, what he says, that is most important. And at the end, when he is concluding, Krishna is concluding, and Krishna is saying that Mad gatin antaratmana, within himself, is always bhajate mam, shraddhavan bhajate. Shraddha means with faith. And with faith is always bhajate. Bhajate means serving me, with love and devotion. So bhaj dhatu means serving with love and devotion. Bhajtam pritikuro. So with love and devotion. If someone is serving the Lord with love and devotion, Dhyana yoga, why to do Dhyan? Krishna, although he is saying Dhyan, but he doesn't recommend. Dhyan means you have to meditate on something where you are not able to meditate. Here, naturally, it's unnatural actually. Dhyana is unnatural. You have to force yourself to meditate on something which you don't intend to meditate, which you don't like to do, but you are forced to meditate. Force yourself to meditate. Control. Like that. Mind is going here and there. Then you have to. Don't let your mind go here and there and wander here and there. Just bring it back and meditate. One point. Just like you tell child, don't move here and there, sit silently.
Very difficult.
Child is naughty. But whose mind is already controlled, why he has to do meditation? He will do something practical, why he should sit idle? He should do something practical, some service to Krishna. With love and devotion. You tell by meditate or you are not meditating on that side. You are meditating somewhere else. But if somebody is naturally meditating and have love for Krishna, you don't have, if somebody is not smoking, What is the use of telling him, don't smoke? It doesn't make any sense. So, like that. So, this whole chapter is very wonderful. At the end, Krishna concludes that you just love me and serve me. That is the ultimate yoga. To love Krishna and to serve Krishna. That is the ultimate. But if you can't do that, then you do this. If that also you can't do, then do this. You do this. At least you do this.
Yes.
So this is how it is. Like in chapter 12, again Krishna will explain. That if you can't, fix your mind on me. He said, if you can't fix your mind on me, then you at least always in love and devotion you just think, for me, like Brajvasis they do. You do that. That's the best. So I can't do that. Krishna, I don't have that much love. Then he says, second option is, okay, you can't do that, then at least chant Hare Krishna and try to meditate on it. Try to engage your mind. That is called by the heart. Spontaneously, if you are not able to do by the rules and regulations, wake up early in the morning and follow the regulated principles of bhakti yoga, at least discipline. Then say, that also I can't do. It's very difficult for me to follow regulations. Then he says, third option, then you work for me. You work and then offer fruits to me. And if you can't do that also, then just read Bhagavad Gita. Get knowledge about. So he gives many options. Not like a very harsh God, you can't do this, then you will have no option, you will be killed in burn in fire. Sometimes to bring discipline, God does like that, but actually he gives many options, alternatives he creates for the people. It's not very fixed, rigid, hard. He considers our situation. Okay, you are attached in this world. Okay. So you do this much at least. So that's consideration here. So this whole chapter, but ultimately he says the best is you love me. So this verse, while describing Ashtanga Yoga system, this verse Krishna explains. So we'll read yuktāhāra-vihārasya
Yuktāhāra-vihārasya
yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu yukta-svapnāvabodhasya yukta-svapnāvabodhasya
yukta-svapnāvabodhasya
yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā.
yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā.
And I to repeat. So.
Yuktāhāra-vihārasya
Yuktāhāra-vihārasya
yukta-ceṣṭasya
yukta-ceṣṭasya
karmasu
yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu
yukta-svapnāvabodhasya
yukta-svapnāvabodhasya yogo
bhakti duḥkha-hā.
Yuktāhāra-vihārasya
yuktāhāra-vihārasya
yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu
yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu
yukta-svapnāvabodhasya
yukta-svapnāvabodhasya
yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā.
yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā.
Yuktāhāra-vihārasya
Yuktāhāra-vihārasya
yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu
yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu
yukta-svapnāvabodhasya
yukta-svapnāvabodhasya
yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā.
yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā. You like to read? Read. Mataji, would you like to read? You would like to read?
Yes, sir.
yuktāhāra-vihārasya
Yuktāhāra-vihārasya
yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu
yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu
yukta-svapnāvabodhasya
yukta-svapnāvabodhasya
yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā
yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā. Mataji.
yuktāhāra-vihārasya
yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu
yukta-svapnāvabodhasya yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā. So, we'll read the word to word meaning. Yukta, regulated. Ahara, eating. Vihārasya, recreation. Yukta, regulated. Ceṣṭasya, of one who works for maintenance. Karmasu, in discharging duties. Yukta, regulated. Svapnāvabodhasya, sleep and wakefulness. Yoga, practice of yoga. Bhavati, becomes. Duḥkha-hā, diminishing pains. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing yoga system. Purport. Extravagance in the matter of eating, sleeping, defending and mating, which are demands of the body, can block advancement in the practice of yoga. As far as eating is concerned, it can be regulated only when one is practiced to take and accept prasadam, sanctified food. Lord Krishna is offered, according to the Bhagavad Gita 9.26, vegetables, flowers, fruits, grains, milks, etc. In this way, a person in Krishna consciousness becomes automatically trained not to accept food not made for human consumption or not in the category of goodness. As far as sleeping is concerned, a Krishna conscious person is always alert in the discharge of his duties in Krishna consciousness. And therefore, any unnecessary time spent sleeping is considered a great loss. Abhyartha-kālatvam. A Krishna conscious person cannot bear to pass a minute of his life without being engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, his sleeping is kept to a minimum. His ideal in this respect is Srila Rupa Goswami, who was always engaged in the service of Krishna and who could not sleep more than 2 hours a day, and sometimes not even that. Thakur Haridas would not even accept prasadam, nor even sleep for a moment without finishing his daily routine of chanting with his beads 300,000 names. As far as work is concerned, a Krishna conscious person does not do anything which is not connected with Krishna's interest. And thus, his work is always regulated and is untainted by sense gratification. Since there is no question of sense gratification, there is no material leisure for a person in Krishna consciousness. And because he is regulated in all his work, speech, sleep, wakefulness and all other bodily activity, there is no material misery for him. So the two verse, the previous verse and this verse are also connected. Previous verse, Krishna says that there is no possibility of one's becoming a yogi, or Arjuna, if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। So yuktāhāra-vihārasya yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu yukta-svapnāvabodhasya yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So first of all, I would like to give my humble obeisances to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and His Holiness Bhakti Bhushan Maharaj. And we fortunate to have Maharaj darshan. When I was in Zurich, and some devotee told me that Maharaj is there in Cologne, and I thought that it will be my great fortune to have darshan of Maharaj. I come to Cologne, my whole trip is successful by having Maharaj darshan. And I was having great fortune to have darshan of His Holiness Jagannath Maharaj in Paris.
Yes.
So it's really very, very purifying. So I seek Maharaj's blessing so that I can discuss on this verse. So we'll start discussing. So in this verse he says, Krishna says that he who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So this verse is talking about regulation. That when we are performing the yoga system, then sometimes we imitate many times. That's tendency. There are two extremes. One extreme is that we neglect, don't take it seriously. And the second extreme is that we imitate, like of course Srila Prabhupada mentions here. Example Srila Prabhupada gives you that abhyartha. A Krishna conscious person cannot bear to pass a minute of his life without being engaged in service with Lord. Therefore, his sleeping is kept. We are asked that we just sleep 2 hours a day. So that will not be practical. No? For us, it's not practical. But for Rupa Goswami, it was natural. So that's why we cannot imitate. Haridas Thakur also mentioned here that without finishing his rounds, even he would not sleep for a moment. And he would chant 192 rounds every day. Three lakh names every day. So he will not sleep or eat also, prasad, without finishing his 192 rounds.
More than 20 hours or 22 hours?
I don't know exactly how many hours, but some devotees say 17 hours it seems to take for him to chant 192 rounds. So, but for us, like, it's not practical. We cannot imitate Haridas Thakur, Swaram Goswami. So the practitioner yoga, it is mentioned here that better to be regulated. Like in previous class also he said that no possibility of one's becoming a yogi if one eats too much. If we eat too much, then also there is no possibility. And if we eat too little, then also there is no possibility. Sleeps too much, that is also not good. And does not sleep enough, that is also not good. So Srila Prabhupada mentions that 6 hours to 6.5 hours sleep is good enough. And of course, everyone's body is different. So it's not put ourselves in too much, sometimes too much repression or too much, showing too much devotion. Adopting the very high principle for which we are not qualified, actually. So that can create, some disturbance in our life. So there are many kinds of practices, like we see, like Haridas Thakur. He was on a very highly elevated platform. Therefore, for him it's okay if he will not eat, if he will not sleep. For him it's okay. He can, very easily survive. But if we, like one day if you don't eat, the next day we eat double. And we sleep double. One day we don't sleep. Sometimes like we see devotees the whole night, they chant, But in the whole morning program they sleep. So better to take rest in the night and attend morning program carefully. Because we are not on that level to do whole night wake up. So sometimes it becomes difficult. Of course, we aspire for that. Our aspiration. We are aspiring when that day will come. Like many Vaishnavas, Acharyas are praying that Gauranga bolite have pulaka sarir, Hari Hari bolite nayana bhavenir, Kabe ma vidai chand karuna hive, Sansar vasana mur kabe tuchha have. Visaya chadiya kava sudha viman, Kabe hame herivo, Shri Vrindavan. So there is aspiration that when that day will come, when that day will be mine. That when I chant the holy name, when I chant Gauranga, Gauranga, the tears will flow from my eyes when that day will come. And my material desires for sense gratification will become insignificant, will go away, will become very much reduced to the minimal point when that day will come. It's called aspiration. We should aspire for that. Like many songs, Acharyas are saying, when that day will come, that aspiration will be is required. But the one thing is aspiring, another thing is like immediately jumping and imitating. From today only, I came to know Haridas Thakur was chanting 192 rounds, and he was a very great devotee. So from tomorrow I also start chanting 192 rounds. Today I heard in the lecture, from tomorrow I start doing that. It's good if you can do. But the point is that we are not on that level, isn't it? So what will happen? We push too much ourselves. And maybe after some time we will understand our ego. Like materialistic world, they say it's not my cup of tea. Said that it's not for me, I cannot do so much. Like many devotees, they join Krishna conscious movement and they do overwork, and after some time they leave. Over enthusiasm, sporadic enthusiasm, utsāha. In the beginning, we become very, very enthusiastic, highly enthusiastic. We stress ourselves too much. Sometimes you see devotees like charged, they get exhausted, And after that, their health and everything becomes so much spoiled that they even struggle to do basics in Krishna consciousness. Even Krishna says your work also, yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu. Karmasu means work. And sometimes this is called fanaticism, in one sense also. Become fanatic. When we hear about Krishna consciousness, sometimes devotee may become fanatic, take up the extreme, practices, like just leave everything and just come and join Krishna consciousness movement. You see some Maharajas, renounce or some devotees, they say immediately, they also want to do that. But after some time, they realize that it's not for me. It is good, at least they tried. But at the same time, what happens that we take it to our ego sometimes. Going back becomes very difficult. It's not easy to go back again. What people will think, what people will say. So those barriers comes and artificially we continue Krishna consciousness. So that's why Krishna is very practical. Krishna is giving us practical guideline. Do not neglect your basic needs of eating, sleeping, and recreation and work. So Srila Prabhupada here is giving that the basic principle of sleeping is that we should not waste time. Sleeping, if you sleep too much, it's just wastage of time.
Yes.
Tamo. And we are abhyartha kalatvam. Do not waste your time. And so the basic, but then that doesn't mean that we don't sleep at all. But sometimes if you don't get proper rest, then what will happen? Our health will go down.
Yes.
And when our health goes down, then like we have seen many senior devotees, they did so much hard work. Of course, it was required at that time. But then by the time, by the age of 40 or 50, they reach, their health is so bad. Of course, by advance of age, health will go down. But at the same time, they have exhausted so much for the mission, for the seva. And by the time they reach 40, 50, when they had not deep much realization, they worked very hard. They gave so much of their energy and time. Now they have deep realization, maybe advancement, but they cannot walk around and reach that vigorously. So that is also very important, that we become regulated in our life. And in our sannyas college, Prahlad Maharaj was telling about balance. Maharaj was telling that balance is very important. Like we have First is our health, swasthya. That is the first thing. Then swasthya, then second is our shiksha. Shiksha means reading, hearing, Srila Prabhupada books, his lectures, shiksha. Attending many courses, programs. The third is sadhana. Morning program and chanting, japa, deity worship, all these practices. And then fourth is sambandha, relationship of devotees. And then fifth is seva. So these five aspects, swasthya, shiksha, sadhana, sambandha, and seva. The five aspects are there. Sometimes we see devotees, they emphasize so much on seva. They focus so much on seva and they ignore other four. Like swasthya, sadhana, shiksha, and sambandha. There is a seva. So what happens? Other aspects gets neglected. They become weak. They become weak and they lose that enthusiasm. Because if you don't do shiksha, you don't study the books, what will happen? We will forget why we are doing seva. Why I should do this? Why I should do this? When we read the books, Prabhupada books are there. If we read them, we come to know why I am doing what I am doing. I am doing arti, why I am doing it. So after some time we become confused. Why I have to do so much? What I am getting from this? What will I get? We lose, the clarity. So shiksha is very important. But for the sake of seva, sometimes devotees they neglect shiksha. Then sometimes for seva, like sometimes devotees, they go late night, like in the early days of Krishna consciousness movement. Prabhupada taught devotees to distribute books. And devotees would distribute books and they go till late night, and then they will come late night and then in the morning they will not be able to wake up. So Prabhupada said that we should, then Prabhupada started morning program. Today, come back early on this book distribution and take proper rest on time, then wake up early in the morning, do your sadhana. Prabhupada said, one devotee asked Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, give me some tips how I can distribute books. And Prabhupada said, chant 16 hours attentively. And then Krishna will give you all intelligence how to distribute books. This sadhana. Sometimes the sadhana is obstacle in seva. It's taking by so much time. If I do 1 hour reading or 2 hour chanting, that I can distribute 10 books. Sharpening the saw. And we have to sharpen the saw so that it can work very fast. So devotee has to understand that sadhana is important. So swasthya means balanced eating and sleeping. Balance. Sometimes just sleeping is very important. Like Muslim brothers. He fought for the mission in the Devasur Sangram. And he is the person who achieved Krishna while sleeping.
Yes.
You are not chanting Hare Krishna, you are just sleeping. And you attend Krishna. Because sometimes you work very hard, then you have to take proper rest. And Krishna is not so cruel that he wants to torture us. Like once Srila Prabhupada was going on morning walk and Then he was going wearing shoes and all devotees were there. And one devotee thought that Prabhupada is wearing shoes, so I will not wear shoes. And he was going and then somehow he was not able to walk because there are so many peoples, and he was not able to walk and they were piercing his feet. So after this few kilometers, Prabhupada looked at him and saw he's not comfortable. He asked, why are you not comfortable? He said, why are you not wearing shoes? He said, Prabhupada, how can I wear shoes? You are wearing shoes, so I am your disciple, so I should be below you. That will not please you. And Srila Prabhupada said, you cut your head and give me, do you think that will please me? So, unnecessarily Prabhupada didn't wonder that we should. Of course, some emergency situation comes and that can be asked to overwork sometimes or do extra service. But then at the same time, we should understand that was the need of the hour. That was the need of the hour. That time we may have to extend some time. But then accordingly we should balance also. Take good rest, prashadam, and proper rest, and also spend time with the devotees. Sometimes sambandha we neglect. Course of seva, we spoil our relationship with the devotees. Many devotees fell down in our movement because they did not have very heart-to-heart deep relationship with each other. Yes. This is what the Dhyan. They did not have deep relation with each other. And why they were also very great achievers in the movement. They did a lot of services, but they could not get time to spend with each other. Because to develop a relationship, we have to sit with each other, talk to each other, spend time with each other, like speak together, chant together, hear together. Gurama Khatu Preshati. Tadati Pratigranati. For that we need time. We are always busy, chasing after targets, goals, deadlines, so much. It was like corporate world,
Yes.
Sometimes. So sometimes devotees gets fed up and want to give up. And we don't pay attention to the soul's need, It's an anandamaya. The soul is pleasure seeking, it needs pleasure. So too much repression, too much extending continuously for many years without considering. We have limitations, our body has limitations. We should understand that. So paying attention to even the relationship, like when we reach to the very high level in Krishna consciousness, then we enjoy spiritual relationships. But even like till the time devotees have not reached to that level of, like ruchi or asakti or bhav. Till the time we need socialization, certain amount of socialization is required. Isn't it? Friendship is required, heart sharing is required. Otherwise Krishna consciousness becomes duḥkha-hā. You see? Yogo, bhavati, duḥkha-hā.
Yes.
In a friend, maybe someone should ask me, how are you, Prabhu? Like once, one Maharaj was saying that one devotee was sick, and then he was alone and then nobody was going to him to take care of him. And then he told that I'm alone, nobody is there. So then the leader came and told, Prabhu, you are not his body, you are soul. Why are you so much, bodily conscious? Your body is sick, not soul is sick. And that devotee said that, yes, Prabhu, I know that, but I need your help to realize this.
Yes.
Till the time I reach to that level of realization, I need your help, at least in between. I mean, on the way, I am on the way, not I have reached to that level. So when they read philosophy also, that's why we need a guidance, how to apply the philosophy. So experienced devotees, they give us guidance, how to apply these principles. So under their guidance, under their supervision, we should apply, we should ask also before applying that I am doing Krishna Panchak, is it okay?
Yes.
Like my one devotee was doing Krishna Panchak, he was not eating anything 5 days. And my Guru Maharaj came to know. So then he told him that you have not taken my permission. No, don't do that.
Yes.
Don't do Krishna Panchak. And he stopped. Maharaj said, no, you do what Prabhupada has given this message to people at this level.
Yes.
So that's why guidance is required. Our spiritual masters, they have experience. They know our level, our situation. Any practice we want to adopt, we can see guidance. Extra, of course, basic whatever Srila Prabhupada is given, morning program, chanting, all these things. And we also, so we are in Grihastha ashram, so we should, seek guidance that how I should balance my bhakti and Krishna consciousness. But sometimes you would take up too many, commitments in seva, and then they neglect their family life. So that there is, imbalance is created. So these are all things like what Krishna said, that keep it in a balanced way. Otherwise your yoga will become duḥkha-hā, and then you will leave the Krishna conscious movement after some time. And so better to be there in the moment till our last breath, and maybe birth after birth, janmani janmani svare, bhavati, and keep it very slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady. Let us be steady for longer duration. Let's continue Krishna consciousness. Mold our life in such a way, little, gradually, for small steps. Divide your goal, in small steps. Like I have to reach from this to next floor. Then only one step I have to take. It's very difficult for me. But the same height is divided into 6 inch, 6 inch, 6 inch, and one by one, each step very easily. We go above the roof very easily. Dividing the same height in the small steps. So similarly, the same advancement, high level advancement, if you take inch by inch gradually and achieve go higher, then we reach to that. So that's what I understand here. So, thank you so much. And anyone has any question, comment, Maharaj, if you would like to say.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have one question about this sambandha, this connecting with devotees. Sometimes I feel it's very difficult because everyone is, I don't know, sometimes it's so, we just see on Sunday feast, it's not really, people are living far away, everyone is busy, and sometimes, I don't know, it's very difficult to get association or develop some relationships. Yeah. In these times, I don't know, if you're not living in temple and having with some devotees, outside it's very difficult. If you don't have any programs, anything, so to develop these relationships.
Yeah. Relationship is a very important aspect of Krishna consciousness. Heart-to-heart relation with the devotees, that's what helps us. And yes, Kali Yuga, the symptom of Kali Yuga is quarrel and hypocrisy. It's because of that only people are not happy. There was a research in Harvard University on happiness. And research started in 1940. It went for 75 years.
Oh, such an extensive
75 years. They selected 750 people.
Ah.
Half of them were poor, half of them were rich.
All are from the same country? From
Same place, around. And they did their research from their childhood. Many of them, they left their body by the time it was concluded research. So 75 years they studied their whole life. And the topic was happiness. How people get happiness. And Robert Waldinger, he was the director of that research when it was concluded at the end. Millions of dollars they spent.
Yes.
For all this research. The speech is there online. He came on TED Talk and he gave the speech on his conclusion of the research. So he mentions that the conclusion says that the happiness doesn't come by money, doesn't come by so many facilities and gadgets and all these things. He says happiness comes by deep loving relationships. Even on the material platform, you see, it's called rasa.
Yeah.
Rasa.
Yes.
Male which. Same thing what Srila Goswami is explaining, or bhakti process, it's same thing they are including. And which is most neglected actually, you see, in the today's world. Like one devotee was telling that now people are rejecting family culture.
Yes.
They're not worrying at all. There are, of course, sannyasis and brahmachari also they reject sometimes.
But we have a higher one.
But the reason is different.
Reason is different.
They reject one small family, not reject, but they come out so that they can make entire world earth family.
Yes.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
Yes. Yes.
That is their
They extend the family.
Yeah, expanding the circle of the family.
Yes.
But so he was saying that they reject people are rejecting the family. I said no, people are not rejecting family. It's family rejecting the people. Some universities they have very high level of cutoff.
Yes. Yes. Guru.
So university rejects the people, not the people reject university. Family university is rejecting you because you are not qualified to take up the commitments and thereby the very wonderful, blissful experiences of family life. Because that requires certain level of character.
Correct.
Relationship, foundation of relationship is trust. And trust comes by character, integrity. And character, who has character? If you don't have character, how can you enjoy family? How can you have relationship? The superficial. So that's why loneliness is increasing in the world. This is the ministry of, and the government of Japan has started ministry of loneliness.
Oh, Ministry of Loneliness.
Yes. UK also has started ministry of loneliness. Because that is your need. And now in Japan, there is one company has started. A relationship on rent.
Ah.
You pay $250 and you get mother. Mother will come for 7 days and you pay $1,500. And she will serve you like mother. This kind of company is already started in Japan. People are buying putting relationship in.
Prabhuji, in this regard, my students told me in the university that now people are making friendship with ChatGPT. Like they are talking, they are expressing their emotions and they are getting return. So now they are making boyfriends and girlfriends with ChatGPT because they can talk very nicely with them. Because
that is their need.
Yes.
It's not optional. It's not optional that you can reject.
Yes.
But your need is there. Getting money is your need. You cannot say that I reject money. It's your need.
Yes.
But money can reject it. I cannot come to you. You are not qualified to earn money. Just like that. So that is the relation. I'm just telling the relation is so important, even in devotees life. When we come, we should discuss and how we can do that. But yeah, it's very, very important. First thing is that it's very important. If you understand, then it's wherever there is will,
There is a way.
there is a way. And how will come? First comes thinking, then feeling, then willing. When you start thinking, this is very important, this is very important, why it is important, then you take out time, everything is possible. When we think it is important, we will take out time for it. Isn't it?
Yes.
We feel eating is important, some other will take out time for prasad.
We have to generate urgency.
Urgency. And that like by thinking, discussing. So when we discuss on this topic, then we develop urgency. It's important, let's do it. And we work together like that. And of course, our relationship is a relationship centered toward Krishna, keeping Krishna in the center. Our family that prays together stays together. Our relationship is when we sit together, chant together, take prasadam together, sing together, and sankirtan, do kirtan together, like that. So we build the relationship like that. Okay.
You mentioned that the character is the big problem in today's society.
Yeah.
And that's where there is a need of spirituality, because character comes only with spirituality.
Character will come, character is related to mind. If you don't control your mind and senses, how will you have character?
Yes.
Character comes, relations come by trust comes by character comes by mind and sense control. The mind and sense control comes by, you don't have any medicine, gridosine. Like if somebody is greedy fellow, you give him 3 tablets and his greeds go away. You don't have any gridosine or gridometer that sets some gridometer in his heart and becomes an honest person. Do we have? Has science developed? Do you have vaccine for lust, greed, anger, envy, pride, ego? We don't have. Scientific medical field has not produced such vaccines. They have produced vaccine for corona, but where is the vaccine for ego?
Yes.
Even for cancer, they have produced.
All relationships are getting broken because of false ego. Where is the medicine for ego?
Yes.
And that's where comes the spirituality. You may develop medicine to increase lust, but where is the medicine to supplement lust? And that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. That when Krishna has given that formula, Enichya Maya Nasi Varolagi, Harinam Mahamad Lautami, Magi. This is medicine. Harinam is the medicine. And when we chant attentively, we see that, this is the vaccine. And there is no other way. You got the idea? So we will stop here. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai. He prays Sundar Gopal Prabhu ki Jai. Swami Maharaj Jai. Jai.